Greetings, beautiful souls. I wanted to come together with you today to talk about hope, or more appropriately, the loss of hope. You know, there's been a period of time in human history, and it was more recently, when statistically speaking, we were really the most connected and peaceful, the least number of wars ever in human history. And this was maybe about 7, 8 years ago. And I started to get really excited as a lifelong pacifist. Like, wow, maybe we're finally getting it. Maybe we're finally starting to evolve. I saw all these people awakening and, diving into their inner trauma work and closing down multi-generational patterning and all those things that I know that you've been doing out there. And I was really, really excited and optimistic. And then we saw, once again, the rise of greed and quest for power and money and hoarding of resources, and now the rise of fascism in many, many countries around the world, including my home country, the United States. And I realized that a lot of people right now, after we got done being angry about that, and after we got done being really fearful about that, or maybe we're still fearful and angry about that. I know I am personally. I realized that then, there can be this sort of depression, right? Like, wow, we really tried, we rallied, we spoke out on social media, we tried to talk about conscious leadership. We tried all these things, and maybe there's no hope for humankind. And I feel that as kind of an underlying depression, like across the world, particularly in certain areas of the world that are really impacted by the things that are happening right now. And it's hard when you lose hope. I've lost hope a few times in my life, and I've just sort of allowed myself to fall apart, emotionally, mentally, physically, financially, just let it all crash down, right? And that both somehow feels good because it relieves some pressure to always be trying to be happy and positive and optimistic and all these things, and it also feels really scary to say, fuck it, I can't do anything about this. And right now, I sense in the conversations I'm having and my own feelings and with my partner and many other people around me, my clients, that there's a sense of like, F it. We've tried so hard, and, how much do we have to keep working and keep fighting and keep protesting and keep voting and keep doing all these things, when in fact those who are in power, they just keep trying, and they keep trying harder, and they have more resources and they have more leverage. So what does it matter? And it just feels terrible to lose hope, right? It feels terrible. It feels, it just feels like a loss of personal autonomy. It feels like a loss of personal power. It feels like a loss of collective power. And some of those things may be true at this moment for you. In this moment, some of those things are true for me. Some of those things that have gone on, I've just had to let go and say, there's nothing else I can do about this right now. And while it feels really scary to say that, it also feels powerful to say that. Because then it frees us up to focus on the things that we do have agency over, even if it's a small thing, even if it's like what shirt I put on today, or what I eat for dinner, or, a movie I'm going to watch on YouTube later tonight when I'm cuddled up in bed with the fire going in the wood stove. Like these small choices and decisions that we're making. What friend am I going to reach out to and make a connection with? This is where we can begin to build hope and autonomy again, where we can begin to find reasons to get up one more day, to be in this human skin as a soul, right? And I think, sometimes I laugh and I kind of joke around about it, but it's like when my soul got in line in the astral plane or wherever I came from and said, yeah, I'm going to do that lifetime. That looks really cool. Earth as a schoolhouse. I think I'll go there. It sounds like fun. And then you're like, shit, what did I sign up for? Even having a sense of humor when times are dark or bleak in your life, in the world, in the collective, is a little act of resistance. And we begin to bring ourselves out bit by bit by bit, not bypassing those emotions. By all means, rage if you need to, rage against the machine. If you need to cry, if you need to let some shit just drop and fall apart, it's not going to be the end of the world. Because I've done it a number of times, and here I am, still standing, still sitting here, still making this video, still sitting out here in the beautiful sun. I mean, look at the clouds here in Creel. I mean, they're just absolutely incredible today. And the sun is shining. And I'm alive. And I have this gift of this lifetime. I have this gift of my voice. And I have this gift of this cell phone that I'm recording on. And I have so many gifts in my life. And hope is something we have to keep cultivating. It's not just a given. We have to work at it. We have to work at being hopeful. We have to find reasons to be hopeful. And sometimes there's not very many reasons. And sometimes things don't make sense. And sometimes things aren't fair. And yet we still have to work at having hope. And we have to work at cultivating hope out in the world. And being a person who can help to do that. Because sometimes we need someone to hold us when we don't feel any hope anymore. And sometimes we can hold others when they don't feel hope anymore. And so because I had just this little bit of reserves, I'm here on this video speaking to anyone out there who's like, shit, I don't want to do this anymore. This sucks. I can't stand this life. I can't stand this timeline. Why did I come here? And because you matter. Because what you do matters. Even the things that you only do for yourself matter. You are a part of the greater consciousness. You are part of co-creating this world. And yeah, right now it looks pretty effed up. And it is. And right now we have a lot of leaders who are not leading. They're just self-serving. And that's true. But what are we going to do? We're going to roll over and take it? Not me. I'm going to show up in every way that I can to the capacity that I have. And my capacity is more and more diminished over time with the chronic illness that I live with. But I'm still going to show up when I can. And sometimes I need to be held, and sometimes I can hold others. And we take turns, and we rotate, and we go around. So whoever has any strength right now can stand up and be a voice and say, hey, look, it's not over. We're still here. We're still alive. We're living to fight another day. And those who are like, man, I feel so beat down. I can't barely take it. Well, we can hold you. And we need to hold each other. So today, find one thing that you have agency over. And it's probably not changing the capitalist system, and it's probably not deposing fascist governments, and it's probably not these big giant things that we really feel would make such a huge difference for so many humans on this planet. But find one small thing in your life that you can find hope for. Whether it's your child, your grandchild, a favorite fur baby, a small piece of good news, or the kindness of a friend or a loved one. Whatever it is, we need to cultivate hope again. We need to believe that we can go back to where we had progressed and even further. Because otherwise, why did I get in line on the other side? Why did I choose this lifetime? Why did I choose this time in human history? Why did I choose to come here and do this? if there wasn't some underlying purpose. And even though I don't know what that purpose is, and I don't know really what that purpose is completely. Sometimes when I sleep or I meditate, I can like just about touch that purpose, but I don't understand it completely in my humanness. You matter. You matter. We all matter. And we are powerful enough to shift this timeline. And we may not see all the changes and all the benefits of that in this lifetime. But the work we do, the kindness we show, the love we give, the hug we give to someone, the hand up we give to someone, it makes a difference. And this is not a battle of good and evil, because that puts us into that old paradigm of there has to be an enemy and we have to fight against this and fight against that. If we are truly entering the age of Aquarius, then that's about our daily and moment-to-moment conscious decisions. And by being a conscious person, by doing your spiritual work, by showing up, by giving back, by inspiring, by being a positive influencer in whatever way you are in your life, and you don't have to be doing these kinds of things. You can just be a positive role model for a young person in your life. You can be reaching out a hand. You can be caring for someone who can no longer care for themselves. All of that means something to this larger human cycle. And it may be hard to see it. And sometimes you may feel unappreciated. And sometimes you may feel beat down. And in that case, you need to rest. Because when we're tired, when we're exhausted, then we need to reclaim that. We need to take care of the physical vessel. We need to take care of our mind. We need to take care of our hearts and our bodies and each other, so that we have the strength to get up and continue to be an influencer in this world. And no, you don't have to dance on TikTok to do that. You've already been doing it. You've been doing it your whole life. So the thing we need to cultivate now is hope again. Because without hope, we cannot regain that forward progress that we had been making as a species and as individuals. And that's what we're going to get back to. So I love you, my friends. Stay well. Care for yourself. If you have hope and you have some strength, help others who do not. If you do not, please rest and take care of yourself until you start to feel that spark come back. If it's really bad and you just can't, and not enough rest is helping you, then you need to reach out to a professional and really dive in to how you can be nurtured and supported. But hope is the thing that we must have. It's the energy, and we need to transmute fear and anger. And I'm talking to myself here, Bevan. Come on, Bevan. Transmute fear and anger into hope again. And then things will start to get better again. Bit by bit, one person at a time, one loving action at a time, one person standing up at a time, one person influencing positively at a time. We've got this. Namaste.